Hi everyone, it's Dana, and I have decided that I would do a video outside today. The energies of the full moon have created some pretty intense um, lethargy, and I'm finding that the only way that I can really cope is to be outside. So right now I'm actually in my backyard on a blanket in the grass. No telling how many mosquitoes will bite me, but it's preferable to being indoors. I wanted to share with you some of the 4 paintings I've completed. I'm actually done with my 48 cards for my Oracle deck. I haven't decided if I'm going to be doing more, but right now I'm taking a break and kind of dealing with these energies, and I will let you know what I'm going to do when I know. So the first painting is the life trajectory painting that I completed a couple weeks ago, I think. And so this one, it's pretty big. It's a 16 by 20. You can see it here pretty clearly. I love the light outdoors. It's so much better than indoors. The next one I completed, I actually didn't have a name for it, but I'm going to be calling it The Unknown, because I think that's actually the best name for it at this point. The next one is called Growth. This one and then the one following it I'm about to show you, they were completed on the same day, just a few days ago. And then finally, the last painting is called Judgment. So usually I have a story to go along with them, but right now I want to focus more on the energies that we're currently dealing with and will be dealing with for the rest of the month of June. Yesterday, we experienced a blast of energy early in the morning that continued throughout the day and is still lingering today. I'm told that that energy will start to dissipate within the next 24 hours, but to expect more similar energies throughout the month of June. So you may have experienced, like I did, some lethargy, some feelings of unmotivated, sluggish. I had some really bad dry eyes. I had to actually wear my glasses most of the day, and actually that's been a very common side effect for me, is my eyes just do not want to cooperate, and my contacts, no matter how much I try to wear them, I have difficulty getting clarity, like they're blurry, and even with my glasses I have some blurred vision. There's another kind of like spaced out feeling, or a feeling of not knowing what to do with yourself, or feeling like you have something to do but not really knowing what that is. It kind of goes with like a feeling of not belonging here on earth, and it gets really intense when we have these like download energies hit, and then it kind of slowly goes away. I kind of get a feeling of, it's hard, it's kind of like my ego or my small self tries to like take over during these periods. Really, I'm more susceptible to it, and I have to really fight to stay balanced. That's one of the reasons I'm outside today, because it really helps when I'm sitting on the earth or with my feet on the earth in some way, or physical. So that's like the number one way to deal with it, is to ground and to try to be close to the earth outside as much. I mean, I have a beautiful day today. I'm very grateful and blessed to have that. But if you don't have that, taking a bath in Epsom salts or using some essential oils or your crystals can help you with that grounding too. I wanted to use my Osho Tarot deck. I did not bring my like code Oracle deck outside with me today. And I wanted to kind of do a quick reading for the next couple of weeks, which would be through the end of June, to give us an idea. Oh, look, one fell out. So I'll show you that one at the end. Give us a kind of an idea of what to expect and how to cope with these crazy June energies. One of the things about June is that Gemini energy, and Gemini is an air element, it's an air sign, and air is very mental, and so a lot of the times when we're in this really strong mental air energy, we struggle with our mind and with thinking too much and over analyzing, and so it's really important not to get caught up in that, to try to be more grounded and stable and focused in your heart and your feelings, so that you don't get too anxious or over concerned about things. And anxiety is another one of those wonderful side effects of these energies. I've been able to avoid it for this full moon so far, but I've actually heard others complaining about it. And usually anxiety is a result of thinking. It's overthinking. trying to analyze things, trying to find solutions, and coming up with problems that maybe really aren't there. And if you really think about it, we create our problems by overthinking. So let's see what we got here. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow my cards all over the place. All right, so the first card, you can see it here, is the abundance card. And this card was actually inverted when it came out like this. And sometimes I don't read them inverted, but in this case I will. And when it's inverted, it means that we may be thinking about how much, or feeling lack, either within or within or out in our life. So we may be focusing on those things that we don't have. The grass is always greener on the other side. This would be where we currently stand, and it will be part of the theme for the next couple of weeks. It's a lot more of that mental energy and thinking about situations or problems coming up, or problems that we've had in the past, and trying to resolve them however we can. But mostly we do that in our old way, the old way, which is reverting to old patterns, beliefs, using the mind to resolve the situation, or try to resolve the situation. And so the inverted, when it's inverted like this, it's telling us that, sorry, my hand is shaking. That one's better. Telling us that we need to be aware of how we are internalizing this. So when it talks about, what I'm talking about here, it's like lack internalized. So we're becoming the effect of that which we feel we are lacking or we are missing. And that is, of course, lack is an illusion we always are in a state of abundance. So it's this whole, the rest of the month is we are diving down into that feeling of unworthiness, or feeling that we are lacking and needing to find some way to fill that lack. Some of this, from a guidance standpoint, the message is this card, which is trust. Sometimes we forget to trust, or we have difficulty having faith that things will turn out like they're supposed to. I love the picture, by the way. This is exactly what trust is all about. It's like you jump off a cliff and you know that you're going to be caught. And this little girl, like the inner child, is jumping and just feeling free and trusting that all will be okay. And that is the message that our guidance is trying to get through to us for the next couple of weeks, is that everything's going to be okay. Everything is working out the way it's meant to. Behind us is that period of grief that I had just talked about in my last reading. So here we've got sorrow. This is what brought us to where we are now. We were going through a major purging, some of us more than others, and we were looking deep within to those parts that maybe we didn't want to see, and grieving for some certain parts that we were letting go. Ahead of us, things that we're aware of are this card. I love maturity. I love this card. And it's recognizing that we have made huge gains and huge progress on our journey. And we're developing and maturing into who we're meant to be. So we have some acknowledgement there that we are going where we're meant to go, and we have made progress. The final card will be the resolution of the next couple months. And it's not exactly the most positive card, but it is in terms of resolution. So this is exhaustion, and I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm having trouble because I'm outside in the glare, but you can see that the guy is just covered, surrounded by all of those things, those heavy burdens that he's been carrying, to the point that he's actually feeling quite sick, can't handle it anymore. And the card is not meaning that we're going to become the effect of all of this that we've been fixating on, but it's more of an indicator that we are going to get to a point where we have to seek help. We have to we recognize our failure to be able to handle all of these issues using our mind. And it promises that we are going to seek another resolution, another way of resolving the problem. It does hint that some of us may end up in some kind of a fatigue, either like adrenal fatigue or physical, might have some physical ailments that pop up. I know for me, I run into having all this energy, and so I get really, really energetic, and I do, and then I end up getting so super exhausted at the end that I'm just like having to take up to a week off. I sometimes can get sick. So the card is warning us that we might run into that. And so, you know, we have to be cognizant of our bodies, make sure that we're not overdoing it when we do have these bursts of energy. And similarly, when we get into the state of exhaustion, that we're giving ourselves ample time to rest and recuperate. If you're like me and you have family responsibilities, young kids, things that are in life that is keeping you active, this can be really hard. So it's really important to take time to yourself wherever you can get it. For me, it's being out here in the grass right now, having any children bothering me. I'm able to actually be with nature, even if it is only for 30 minutes during a video. The card that fell out is, to me, this is the card, the ultimate message that my guidance wants to tell us, and that is this healing card. So all of this has to do with some intensive healing that we're going to be going through. Healing of our energy bodies and preparation for embodiment. I've been receiving messages about an equinox portal ever since the equinox earlier this year. And it actually culminates in solstice, or around the solstice towards the end of July, because the solstice energies, as we all know, can sometimes go for a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after. So we're in the final section of this equinox portal, and the portal is designed in section, and each section is peeling away more of that false self, because we are getting down to the middle, the core, and getting really close to actually ego death is the best way to put it. And as we peel those layers away, we have actually gotten to some pretty core issues, the core issues, and we're at that final layer. And when we're finished, we will be primed or ready for embodying our higher selves. So right now we're in that last layer, and some of us, the layer may not be completely peeled away until after sometime in July, and some of us it'll be sooner than that. And then if we do not, or if we're not able to actually peel that final layer away, then we'll just continue to peel and work at it until we are. And there will be another wave and another opportunity for us to embody our higher selves. Something that came through earlier that I wanted to pass on to you guys is the importance of having support. If you're new to the ascension process, and this is something that you're just now starting to look into, know that no one who's going through ascension planned this alone. No one's meant to be isolated. No one's meant to be doing this without support of others like them. You will be given the opportunity to work with others or to interact with others in some way. Many of us will do it via the internet, through some kind of social media like Facebook or Twitter, and some of us will get the opportunity to meet those others like us who are here to help us in person. I've been blessed to have both, but I've been going through this since about 2002, 2003. There are many that are starting on this journey just now, and my advice to you is, if you're feeling like you're crazy or something, or if you talk to someone, they're going to put you in a mental institution, this is actually very normal. And it doesn't mean be quiet, it just means be careful who you say it to. Reach out, look for others who are like you, where you have where you're safe and can talk about what's going on. Because to try to do this on your own is, or can be, very dangerous. Mentally especially, because we are going to be working on clearing the ego self, or the ego child, and there are some really difficult times where you will need to have that support. I have had a lot of difficulty reaching out to people for help. I'm really happy to give the help, and I find that when I give help to others that I'm also helped, but there is also a time where I personally need to actually reach out. And I've only done that a few times where I actually felt that if I didn't, that I would go crazy, or that I'd have to take myself to a mental hospital and be medicated. I laugh about it now, but at the time it was very real. And I actually picked up the phone and reached out to 2 different individuals in the same day, which for me is unheard of. And my guidance is actually encouraging me to pick up the phone more frequently, that I've been given the connections with others so that I can be helped and I can help them in turn, so that we're not alone and we don't have this feeling of being alone. There's also this, there is also some reunions with our soul family going on, and we are meant to connect with these people. They are our family in spirit, and if we resist this, then we are actually resisting being reunited with our family. Another thing that is coming up for me is dealing with expectations again. And this is connected to, of course, the ego self, or the ego child, and peel those layers of the false self. And it's kind of can be difficult to really know what that means whenever someone says, oh, you need to release expectations and just allow. And there's always something coming up for me. My guidance always likes to ask me, what do you want? And so I'm always thinking about, okay, I want this, and so I'm going to manifest this. You think about what you want, you're real specific about it, you state it, and then you start working towards it. That's how you manifest, right? Well, what I'm finding now is that I'm forgetting a key part of that manifestation. And once you state what it is you want, you leave it. You don't think about it anymore. You don't think over and over and over again, I want this, I want this, I want this. It becomes like an obsessive type of a thing. You actually just leave it there, and then you wait to receive like these impulses or this knowing on what to do. And you have to trust that what you do is going to lead you to that thing that you wanted, or whatever it might be. I have a really good example of that, because I don't always fail at it. I actually sometimes manifest really well. And in 2006, I had been waiting around, feeling kind of lost, kind of similar to what I am. I'm kind of in my dark night of the soul. I wasn't doing too well. I had a job, like physically I was doing well. I had a job, I had money, I had everything that I should have made me happy, but I wasn't. And one of the things that I had always wanted was to build my own house, have on my own land. And I just kept not doing that. And one night I realized that the reason that it wasn't happening is that I thought that it needed to be in a certain order. And in my mind, I thought, find a husband, get married, then build a house, then have kids. And it went in that order. And so I was thinking, wait a minute, I can build a house anytime I want. And yet I was waiting around to meet some person, some man, and then get permission to build my house. Well, the universe doesn't give you permission. It never will. If you're waiting for permission, you're not going to get it. And I had that realization. I was like, oh my God. And so what did I do? I started looking for a house, and eventually I just said, I'm going to build my house. What's funny is, about 6 months before that, I had created my first ever dream board. And on the dream board, I had put images of the house that I wanted to build, all these other things. But I'd forgotten about it. The dream board was up on my wall by my computer, and occasionally I would look at it, but I really didn't think about it very much. And then lo and behold, by the time my house was built, I happened to be packing away my dream board, and my house looked almost identical to the pictures that I had put on my dream board. On top of all of that, everything else that I'd put on the dream board had also manifested, and including meeting my husband and getting married. So all of these things occurred without me having to think about, oh my God, I want this. I got to focus on what I want. And the more I focus on it, the more it's going to happen. And actually, it's very the opposite of that. It's you put it out there, you tell the universe this is what I want, and then you leave it. And you let the universe show you through your intuitive knowing and your urges towards certain action how to get what it is you want. And right now, for me, I am stuck on this belief or this, I don't know, this ideal in my mind that I am meant to be with a specific person. And when you have these kind of limiting beliefs, like, so going back to, I thought I had to meet the husband, then build a house, and it went in that certain order. It's very similar to that. I'm thinking I have to be with a certain person in order to fulfill my mission. Well, maybe it's not supposed to go in that order. And if I think of it in that order, then I'm limiting myself and waiting for permission from the universe. And instead, I should just do what I feel I need to do without, it being in any specific order, and then everything will fall into line. Now, I say that, even as I'm saying that, I'm like thinking, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. All these thoughts are popping into my mind. And the key is to try to block those thoughts, tell them to go away, and focus on what it is that I'm feeling currently that I need to do, and not worry about the other stuff. So it's in times like these that with all this mental energy, it's really hard to just focus on the things that you need to do and the things that give you joy and excitement. And so right now, you're going to find a lot of these kind of mental booby traps coming up. And so my suggestion is get outside like I am as much as you can until those energies pass, and then follow your joy as best you can. So for now, that's the information, or that's what my guidance has given me. I'm going to pull one more card just kind of as a reminder or a final message from my guidance. I love how it works, how these cards just are perfect. And this is the card that came up, which was Go with the Flow. So also another one of my favorites, that there's the water element in there, but there's also this letting go and following your heart and following that urge towards your greatest excitement, your greatest joy. I hope you all are enjoying the outdoors as much as I am today, and that you have a blessed, wonderful rest of the weekend and the rest of June. Namaste.